We're going to talk about Newcastle versus Tottenham, okay? For those of you who didn't see, this is my absolute true story. I said first 10 minutes, it's going to be kind of a boring game, right? A little back and forth. So I went and I made myself a coffee. And then I looked at my phone.
How long did that coffee maker take?
It was about, it took me about 10 minutes because I meandered a little bit.
Okay. I'm just trying to, you know, mentally tick mark.
I put it on the machine. It makes a bunch of noises, right? It's one of those, it's a super automatic. So it's got that touch screen. You press the button and it'll make you whatever you want.
Yes.
Right? So I put it on, right? It's doing all the sounds. And then it made the beep, 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 which means it's run out of water. So I got to take the water container, right? I had to do the whole thing. So it took me about 10 minutes. And most of that was deciding if I should make myself avocado toast because my wife made guacamole. And then I saw toast and I'm like, bro, I could steal.
So you have a little bit of capitulation time built in with the coffee making.
Right. Okay. There was meandering. Okay. You know? So I sat there and I go, yo, should I steal half her avocado? Right? Or her guacamole? Because she made it, but I'm like, bro, she don't need all of this. You know what I mean? And plus it's me. She won't be mad if I eat half, right? And then I decided not to. So I made myself the cup of coffee. It does the whole sound, right? And then I walk over and as I'm walking to the living room, I decide, let me flip up FOTMOB. And I see 3-0. And I go,
love that app.
Oh, FOTMOB is broken. So then I sit down and I put on.
drunk. Somebody input the data wrong.
Bro, I put on futbol because it was like the game was on Universo, right? Or whatever. Like it's also on the TV.
Yeah.
So I put on futbol. I go, oh, futbol's also wrong. So I switched to try to look it up on Peacock or whatever. And then I just put it in Google. I put Tottenham in Google and it said 3-0.
Are Spurs okay?
And I was like, bro, how is it possible that it's 3-0? 4-0? And it just kept going. And look, I couldn't even really enjoy it. As much as I disliked Tottenham, you enjoyed it. I could see it from the look on your face. It was hard to enjoy.
Listen, I wear all of my emotions on my face. I can't hide a single thing, which is also why I don't bother lying.
And I'm a petty Betty.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You'd assume I'd be prepared for this.
My thing is the implications of having a match go this poorly for their placement in the table and otherwise, knowing that Bournemouth and Liverpool are both behind them with matches in hand. I got a little giddy. I'm not going to lie.
No. I mean, afterwards, I kind of giggled a little.
But, I mean, and then we had, just as I arrived, I find out that Christian Stellini got canned. So
he
like you're what interiming the interim at this point.
But it was a note from Daniel. And it's about him firing the character. What about you, Daniel? In the beginning he says, I take full responsibility. In the end, the responsibility is mine. But you ain't firing yourself? You just sit in it and be like, yo, responsibility is mine. And damn, that was embarrassing. So I fire him. You know what I mean? It's kind of messed up.
That's
and you know the worst part is
the things fall downward from the mountain.
Yeah, dude.
Not
shit.
Up.
What is it? Shit goes downhill? No, shit slides downhill.
Slides down, rolls down the mountain.
Rolls downhill, bro. You gotta. Well, let's see, eating it. That's probably not the right term for a shit talk. But I mean, if by the end of the first of 22 minutes, you've got 2 players on a hat trick with braces. You messed up. You messed up big. Look, the Tottenham fans, to just talk about them like they're any other club, Tottenham fans have been begging for a back four, screaming on the internet for a back. And look what happened.
Right. And
they hung 5 on you with your back four. Even Newcastle was trying to give you a hint. You should go back to back.
I won't say much. The nicest thing that I'll say in defense of Spurs fans is that they are not the first fan base to call for some line changes and system changes and inevitably have them go abysmally.
Yeah.
Okay. Like it happens, right?
This is why fans ain't coaching.
Largely, right?
Yeah.
So Stellini tried it and it went so poorly in every way. And, like that's kind of to be expected. If you never played with that system before, you want to flip to a back four, fine. You think, hey, let's try to be a little bit more conservative here. If you're not used to playing like that, you're going to disrupt the entire rhythm of everyone on the pitch.
I felt bad for Pape Sarr. I just looked him up. He's 29 years old. I don't feel so bad anymore. I don't know why I thought he was younger. But Pape Sarr gets what? He gets substituted in the 23rd minute. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. If you get substituted in the 23rd minute.
Fake an injury before you get substituted.
Yeah, dog. Yo, tell me in my ear, dog, so I can save face. Hold the back of my leg.
Yeah. I did something.
Oh, my flux capacitor broken, bro. I need to get off this pitch. I will say that this is if you're Antonio Conte, you're looking at the TV like, what'd I tell you?
He's on his Ryanair flight like, yes.
Yeah, middle
Listen,
seat.
I told you,
Cheering.
Conte can fix nearly anyone, and his managerial history suggests that. His priors, like he swoops in, they win the league, or
he wins
or better,
everywhere.
Except for Tottenham.
Mourinho
and there's
wins
a reason.
everywhere.
If you cannot fix Spurs, which nobody can at this point, unless you're an absolute sorcerer, that's what I'm convinced. They need to do some sort of like burn sage, but also like exorcisms,
they gotta light Jesus
and
candles.
otherwise,
You need every Thea
White Hart
in the
Lane
Bronx to light a Jesus candle.
Yeah, I don't know, an entire like acre of candles. Or whatever an acre is in England. Do they go by acres?
Ivan Perisic must be looking at this being like, I gotta get out of here. How am I stuck here? Just imagine your girl invites you.
So there's the other speculation now because of this massive L, right? That this will be the end of Kane at Tottenham.
And it should be.
Right.
How old is Harry Kane? 30?
In my brain, he's always been 40,
29.
but that's mostly because of his hairline.
Yeah, no, the dude's looked and sounded 48 his whole life.
Yeah.
If you're Harry Kane, there's no reason now, regardless of who you get, you literally could get whoever. Who's the Sir Alex Ferguson?
You're like, who's the best they can get? Sir Alex would cackle and just like hang up on them.
Yeah, no, he'd be like, yo, you gotta give me
that would be like the first time anybody's ever seen Sir Alex laugh.
Bro, he is only 20. Okay, so that's why I felt bad for him. He's 20. Okay. Where'd I get 29 for Pape Sarr?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Maybe you added Kane years to him.
Bro, I'm out here smoking something because he is. Oh, he wears the number 29 shirt. I saw number 29.
It's okay.
He's only 20. Dude, this is going to kill his confidence. That was the point I made on the show. I'm like, I wonder why nobody called me out for that. He's 20 years old and you get subbed at 23 minutes. You get blamed. You get blamed. And after that, it was 1-1. I mean, that's a draw. It's not bad after you come off, but that's because they went to the back five. But I can't think of a manager that says, yeah, I'm going to take this on. Julian Nagelsmann already kind of walked away from the Chelsea gig.
Oh, he very much did. He said, decline.
If Chelsea's too toxic for you, you ain't going to Tottenham.
In his defense, Chelsea are toxic. They hide it a little bit better than Tottenham. Right.
All right, if you had a bar. I feel like
Chelsea have had the distinction of just being very manic in terms of their management and that they will fire you. It doesn't matter if it's been like 3 weeks, 3 years, whatever, if things are not going well. That's kind of been their sort of albatross to hang upon their necks.
Right.
But Tottenham have had myriad other problems, and it's not like their front office have ever concealed the fact that things have always been a little bit off.
Yeah. If you're Julian Nagelsmann, you're at a bar. There's two women sitting at the bar, okay? Chelsea was a girl. First thing she said is, oh, you look like my ex, right? He was a little crazy. So you're like, oh, there's already a bad start. You look down the bar and you see Tottenham. They got a knife in their hand and they say, my ex is coming home from jail tonight. That's the level of toxicity. If the one on the left was too toxic for you, you ain't going anywhere near end of the bar. Why would Tottenham? I can't imagine who Tottenham signed. Tottenham is going to have to find someone who's in the middle of a rehabilitation. Someone who I can't think of who this is a step up for.
I think it would have to be reasonably for someone to accept that job. It's going to have to be someone that is more of an up and comer.
Yeah, it's not that we're not at that ilk of Conte,
that
Mourinho
doesn't
anymore.
Have the lack of risk appetite in their career.
No, they need
that
this.
They're right.
They
that
own
they're
crypto.
Climbing. Right,
NFTs.
Maybe not crypto, but
know?
somewhere in the middle of the road there, legitimately, where it's like they've made some of their bones, but they haven't quite arrived yet.
Right.
Because this is an opportunity to them, not something that will essentially be a massive blemish on an otherwise really successful career.
I don't disagree, but who has that resume and would inspire Harry Kane to stay?
The main guy that I was thinking was bringing Mauricio Pochettino back. If you're looking for a little bit of an upper level.
Why would Poch take that, though?
Also, did you know that Poch is still getting paid by PSG until he finds a job?
Which is
Bro, I would never find a job.
I did not know that.
He's on
what the
unemployment.
hell? What?
So
you're on unemployment. That's how we started the show.
From a contractual side, that's fairly typical for managers. If they're dismissed, they will be paid out for the tenure that they were initially contracted for, because otherwise it's a breach of contract issue, right? With the stipulation that if they take on another job, they're no longer receiving that severance. So the prayer typically, because this also happened with Juve with the overlapping payments to Sarri and otherwise, you pray to God that they'll take a job before they actually have to pay out that contract, which you're more than happy to live your time out on the beach.
So right now, PSG director of football is on the phone with Tottenham and like, Pochettino said he wanted you should call him.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's the reality of it, is you want them to pick up another job as quickly as possible.
Kyle Ritchie said a name that said Brendan Rodgers. Sean said Brendan Rodgers. Not a bad shout, but I don't think that's not going to make Harry Kane stay. Justin Freeberg said Gattuso.
Gattuso would never take that job.
Also, didn't he just fail at Sevilla? Yeah. And now they're playing better without him.
He's a very fiery character, and I would die for Gattuso.
The guy who says sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Yes.
Guess which one is the one about Tottenham?
He would never, ever, ever, in any way, shape, or form, he would be like night and day.
Dennis Higgins said, Gattuso would fight those players.
Not the players. Like, I think he's very good at managing players, though he's terrifying. I think he'd never, ever see eye to eye with that front office.
He would never do the theatrics that Conte. He would do it in the training ground. He would say directly to the players.
He would do it directly to the players, which isn't an issue. The issue is that he'd never, ever have the same alignment with the front office. They would just never agree on anything.
No, he'd be like, buy me players that are no shit, but yes, are good.
Yeah.
Gallardo, who is, if I'm not mistaken, he's currently the River manager. That would be a step up for both Gallardo and for Tottenham, because I think Gallardo is an incredible coach. That said, is that going to inspire Harry Kane to stay on? The answer remains no. There's a few select people. I'm going to give you a name, and I just want to see Christine Cupo's reaction.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Okay? This is it. Can I get an ISO on Christine Cupo when I say this name?
We got it.
Okay?
We're locked in.
Now, real quick. Look, he's leaving his club. Okay, he's leaving his club. And he's probably the only person that gets Harry Kane to stay. Don Carlo Ancelotti. Yes, that's the disappointment I wanted. Because it'll never happen, right? But isn't that the only name you can think of that? The look on her face was perfect. I suggest you watch that if you just listen to this.
I'm just going to have like an eye twitch. Aside from the part where
go for it.
Carlo Ancelotti has already said absolutely not.
Right.
He has no interest in leaving.
Yeah, he wants to see out his contract.
Respectfully.
Right.
And
good negotiation
I love him,
tactic,
right?
by the way.
Perfect, right? Why would you want to upset the apple cart when you have something so good and a chance at winning Champions League again? Why not, right? No damn way. Even if he had the ability, just like fare finta di, he wanted to maybe pretend that he could be interested in this.
Right.
I don't think he could fake it through. The other part is you have to relocate to England. So what manager wants to leave there?
It's still London. London's a fun time.
But you still don't have the weather. So let's say you want to take one of the like South American coaches that are not.
By the way, he's rumored to take the Brazil national team job. So, I mean, why would you take Tottenham over that?
Right.
You know.
But I think that even with that, there's that consideration too, is like who wants to move to England if they're not somebody that's already managing in the UK or otherwise.
Real quick, pull up the table, because I just want yes or no. Because it's still, even with that loss, it's still kind of tight. Tottenham in 5th place right now at 53 points. Newcastle slid up to 3rd. Aston Villa, that small club. I don't care what you write in the comments section.
Now have dartboards.
I don't care what you write in that comment section, you small ass club. What was the last time? The last time y'all won the European Championship, it wasn't even called the Champions League.
Can I give you something? The Villa fans who were in our mentions, the last time Villa won a trophy, I was not born.
Bro, and he was born in 1958. What's that tell you? You dusty Aston Villa. Y'all need this. Y'all better try to get in Europa.
For real, bro. For real.
You were trying to get back to your European glory. Get out of here, Aston Villa. Bro, by the way, I'll never go to Birmingham now. But last, yes or no, Tottenham, do they get back up in the Champions League into a top 4 position? And then second, yes or no, do they even get into the Europa?
No.
No to both?
No and no.
Boom.
No, because as I mentioned before, Liverpool and Brighton both have games in hand. I think they'll actually end up leapfrogging them, because who's even managing Tottenham at this point? What's happening? What's the direction?
It's that Ryan Murphy kid, right?
You're just going to try to hang tight and see what you can do. Yeah. I don't see this going well.
I got another idea.
So what do you do?
Let Harry Kane manage. Bro, who can keep Harry Kane? Harry Kane. I am a Lucha, paid $10.
That's our boy.
That's our boy Charlie. What up, Chaz? So that I would say this. I'm just here to wish my brother Alexis well on his trip to his own personal hell. That's dedication going to another continent to watch your team lose. Love you, bro. Also, put some respect on NYCFC. How about you watch the morning show? I put a lot of respect on NYCFC. I said Santi Rodriguez was my player that is playing the best in the league right now.